Did they truly believe they could take advantage of you just because you look younger than your age? How quickly they dismissed your wisdom as mere youthful naivety, unaware of the profound depth within you. Now, as they stand in silence, they begin to sense something different. A divine spark that radiates from you, a light that cannot be hidden. You may carry the blessing of a youthful appearance, but it's so much more than a simple trait. It has both shielded and challenged you, leading others to see only what lies on the surface. They see inexperience, they see innocence, but they are gravely mistaken. What these onlookers fail to understand is that your spirit transcends time, carrying a wisdom that cannot be measured by years. Have they ever considered that your youthful appearance might be a part of God's greater plan, allowing you to move with both gentleness and authority? Guided by a divine hand that has held you since the beginning, you were chosen for a purpose, carrying an inner strength that comes not from age, but from eternity itself. If you feel this truth stirring within you, comment 77 and below to stand with other chosen ones, recognizing the timeless spirit you carry. And if you feel called to support this message further, consider showing your encouragement with a super thanks. But why is it that your youthful appearance seems to confuse others so profoundly? Could it be that they simply cannot see beyond the surface, failing to recognize the strength and purpose within? Let's explore why this unique gift may have been given to you by God Himself. As we dive deeper, consider how often we too judge by appearances. How often do we overlook the profound spirit within someone because of the way they look? Now, let's uncover what your youthful presence truly means and how it serves a greater purpose in the journey of God's chosen ones. God's chosen ones. You look much younger than your age, so they thought they could mess with you. They think they can dismiss you, judging by what they see on the surface. A youthful face, an appearance that seems untested by time. But what they fail to recognize is that they are standing in the presence of someone anointed with the wisdom and strength of God. Even when the world attempted to undermine you, God never left your side. Each dismissive look, every act of belittlement, has only served to further His divine purpose for you. Think of David, a mere shepherd boy who looked young and inexperienced. When Goliath mocked him, dismissing him as only a youth, David stood unwavering, empowered by his faith and the strength of God. 1 Samuel 17:42-45. Like David, you carry within you a power that others cannot see, a strength that shatters illusions and expectations. Your appearance may be youthful, but beneath it lies the resilience of a warrior chosen by God. They assume your silence signifies submission, not realizing that the voice within you is backed by divine authority. When Jesus, despite His humble appearance, spoke in the synagogue, the people were astonished at His wisdom and authority, asking, "Where did this man get this wisdom?" Matthew 13:54. In the same way, you are not confined to worldly expectations. You are guided by a wisdom that transcends time, a wisdom gifted by the Creator Himself. While they play by earthly rules, judging outward appearances and earthly age, you move in sync with divine timing. You're not held back by their limitations, because you operate by the call of a force infinitely greater than their shallow judgments. Like Moses, who seemed ordinary in Pharaoh's palace, you're being prepared by God to lead, to stand firm, and to fulfill a purpose beyond what the world can see or understand. Exodus 3:10-12. So, let them underestimate you. They may see only youth, but you know that the spirit within you is ageless, held by a divine plan. In your workplace, they've played those familiar, worn-out games. Colleagues, seeing your youth, assumed they could take credit for your insights, treating your contributions as stepping stones for their own gain. They whispered behind your back, certain that your voice would remain unheard, mistaking youth for inexperience. They believed they could overshadow you, equating a fresh face with ignorance. But they overlooked one crucial detail. You were not standing alone. God's hand has always guided you, preparing you for the very moments they thought you would fail. When the pressure was on and everyone was grasping for solutions, you stood steady, revealing an innovative plan. With confidence and clarity you spoke, and the room fell silent. In that instant, they recognized that they'd misjudged you completely. Like Joseph, who was overlooked and even betrayed by his brothers, you too rose to the occasion in a way they never anticipated. Genesis 37-50. When famine struck Egypt, it was Joseph, once dismissed as young and powerless, who had the wisdom and foresight to lead. Likewise, your insight didn't just meet the moment's need, it exceeded it, revealing a depth and wisdom that can only come from a divine source. Your colleagues, who once dismissed your ideas and claimed your successes as their own, found their own boasts turning to dust. Their ambitions, built on shallow foundations, could not withstand the weight of the truth you unveiled. Just as Daniel, young and underestimated in Babylon, silenced his accusers with wisdom that could only come from God, Daniel 1:17-20, so did you bring a clarity and vision that left no room for doubt. What they failed to grasp is that the wisdom within you is not bound by age. It is timeless, part of a greater design that they cannot comprehend. While they saw youth, God saw purpose. As a chosen one, your youthful appearance isn't simply a matter of physical features. It's a reflection of the powerful, radiant energy within you. What is it about you that seems to defy the natural passage of time? Could it be the divine light that has been entrusted to you, a spark that keeps your spirit alive and vibrant? This glow is not limited to the surface. It radiates from deep within, a testament to your connection to God. While others feel the inevitable wear of time, you carry an energy that breaks free from the typical boundaries of age. Your spirit, constantly renewed by the source, embodies both the wisdom of the ages and the vibrant playfulness of youth. How does this happen? Each act of faith, each time you let go of old wounds or free yourself from negativity, you invite this divine energy to flow through you more fully. This spiritual renewal is reminiscent of Isaiah's words, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles." Isaiah 40:31. Just as eagles renew their strength, so do you, growing ever stronger, ever more radiant. Can others sense this timeless peace within you? The aura of love, resilience, and unwavering faith that surrounds you is unmistakable. Like Moses, who after spending time in God's presence had a radiant face that others couldn't ignore. Exodus 34:29-35. Your light is a visible reminder of the divine connection within. This glow, this energy, speaks of a life aligned with something greater than the physical world, a life lived in communion with God. Is it any wonder that others are drawn to you, perhaps not even knowing why? Your youthful appearance isn't just a physical characteristic. It's a visible sign of the divine energy that courses through you, a reminder that you are held to different standards than the world around you. How often do they look at you and assume you're simply young, equating appearance with weakness? They don't realize that time cannot erode the eternal spirit that God has placed within you, a spirit untouched by the limitations they live by. They see only what their eyes can perceive, completely unaware of the divine shield surrounding you. Each attempt they make to diminish you is met with a power they cannot begin to understand. When they whisper in secret, hoping to tear you down, they are met with the relentless protection of God, just as Elisha's servant saw the hills filled with horses and chariots of fire surrounding them. 2 Kings 6:17. You are not alone, and the force guarding you is beyond anything they can imagine. How can they comprehend what lies beneath the surface? Your youthful energy misleads them, making them think you are an easy target. But behind this exterior lies the spirit of an ancient soul, a soul infused with wisdom that surpasses earthly knowledge. Like Esther, who was young but chosen to change the course of a kingdom, your strength defies their assumptions. Esther 4:14. You are a divine contradiction, youthful in appearance yet carrying a timeless wisdom, seemingly vulnerable yet untouchable by those who try to bring you harm. Is it any wonder they cannot grasp who you truly are? In their world, youth is frail, easily swayed, but you live by a different law. Your presence is a quiet testimony to the divine truth within you, a force they can neither see nor touch, but one they cannot ignore. God's protection over you is invisible to them, yet it surrounds you like impenetrable armor, deflecting every whispered insult, every underhanded scheme. How could they understand that the same hands that shaped the stars also cradle you, keeping you steady? Their efforts to undermine you, to chip away at your confidence or character, fail before they even begin, for they are up against a power far greater than anything they can wield. When they move against you, convinced that you're unaware of the shadows they cast, they miss a crucial truth. God has already revealed their intentions to your spirit, just as he warned Joseph of Pharaoh's dream, giving him insight that protected him and others. Genesis 41. So too does God give you foresight, ensuring you're always steps ahead, not out of revenge but out of divine wisdom. Your path is carefully laid out, beyond the reach of those who seek to harm you. Have they ever wondered why their plans never seem to take hold? It's because each plot dissolves before it even takes root, crumbling against the divine shield that encircles you. Like David, who was protected from Saul's many attempts on his life, you too are held safe by God's unwavering presence. Samuel 18:19. While they think they're striking in secret, they're actually encountering a force they cannot comprehend or overcome. This protection, this unbreakable barrier, isn't something they can perceive or challenge. How can they strike at someone guided and guarded by the Creator himself? In their ignorance they may try, but every step they take only reinforces the reality they cannot see, that you are shielded by the hand of God, moving forward with a purpose they cannot touch. Imagine this. You feel the tension, the hidden agendas swirling around you. Someone you once trusted has been planting seeds of deceit, quietly working to watch you stumble, believing they're safely shielded from the fallout. They think you're naive, that their betrayal will go unnoticed. Yet what they fail to understand is that God has gifted you with a discernment far beyond their schemes. Without confronting anyone, you begin to see the truth emerge. Those who once believed the rumors come to you, seeking clarity, and gradually realize that they've been caught in a web of lies spun by someone else. You don't need to raise a defense. God's hand has already set the truth in motion. This is how God protects his chosen ones. Like Daniel, who was falsely accused yet delivered by God's intervention, you too are safeguarded. Daniel 6. The traps set for you instead ensnare those who laid them, not by your doing, but by the hand of divine justice. They thought they could harm your reputation, but all they did was reveal their own deception and weakness. As the psalmist wrote, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." Isaiah 54:17. Your faith allows you to step back, letting God unravel the lies, revealing truth without any need for your intervention. Consider how powerful it is to walk with such protection. They may see only your youth, but you know it's a layer that conceals something much greater. Beneath the surface is the spirit of an ancient soul, seasoned with wisdom and fortified by God's strength. Each day, as their plans collapse, it becomes ever clearer to those around you that they've underestimated something far beyond their understanding. You are shielded, guided, and empowered by the Creator, whose wisdom defies any plot. They will come to realize that God's chosen ones are never as vulnerable as they appear, never truly exposed, and certainly never defeated. You may have been judged by your youthful appearance, dismissed as lacking the capacity for greatness. Yet they've only seen the surface, blind to the depths within. What they fail to understand is that God has been nurturing your spirit, watching your heart in humility, sowing seeds that have been quietly growing all along. Beneath the visible, unseen by those who look only with earthly eyes, these seeds have been taking root, ready to burst forth in due time. Do they understand that what appears as inexperience to them is, in truth, part of a grander plan? Just as God chose David, a young shepherd, for kingship, he sees past appearances, selecting those whose hearts are aligned with his purpose. 1 Samuel 16:7. They assumed they could take advantage, seeing what they believed was inexperience. But God is about to reveal his intentions by multiplying your days, efforts, and impact in ways beyond their comprehension. Can they imagine the strength that comes when God decides to magnify your influence? They may have seen a single seed, yet God is bringing forth a harvest, a divine multiplication that will not only surprise them, but also silence their doubts. Just as Jesus multiplied the loaves and fishes, transforming scarcity into abundance, Matthew 14:13-21, so will he multiply the gifts within you. Your impact will soon extend beyond what they thought possible, revealing a strength they never foresaw. And as the world witnesses this powerful unfolding, those who doubted will stand in stunned silence, grappling with a reality they cannot explain. The underestimated, the overlooked. God is turning your story into a testimony of his boundless favor, where every doubt and underestimation dissolves, leaving only the undeniable work of the divine in your life. Your life is poised on the edge of a transformation so profound and swift that even you may feel unprepared for its magnitude. This isn't just a gentle rise, it's an ascension orchestrated by God, a rapid elevation that will leave others in awe. They believed they could keep you unnoticed, bound by limitations and doubts, yet they could not see the path God had prepared for you. The elevation God has planned is unlike anything they've imagined. It defies the boundaries of human understanding. In the same way that Joseph was raised from the prison to the palace overnight, Genesis 41:39-41, your journey too will be marked by a velocity that only the divine can achieve. Those who once disregarded or even ridiculed you will be unable to explain what's unfolding. They're witnessing a power that cannot be measured, a multiplication of your influence and prosperity that leaves them speechless. Think of how remarkable this is. The seeds you planted with quiet faith are not only sprouting but breaking through with a force that defies natural laws. This is the essence of God's promise that the last shall be first. Matthew 20:16. What they considered insignificant, God has chosen to elevate to heights they longed to reach, but never could. The people who once dismissed you as small, as inexperienced, are now confronted with the reality of divine multiplication, where your faith, humility, and patience have become the currency of your elevation. How could they have anticipated that what seemed unimportant would reach such heights? God is showing that his chosen ones are never truly bound by others' judgments. Your rise is a reflection of his promise fulfilled, and those who doubted will see just how wrong they were. As the world watches, you step boldly into the fullness of your calling. This is God's answer to their underestimation, a reminder that humility and faith are honored in ways beyond human comprehension. The journey ahead isn't just yours. It's a testament to God's power at work within you. You've given far more than anyone realizes. Time and again, you put others' needs above your own, offering kindness and support even when they failed to recognize your worth. They saw your youthful face and assumed it meant inexperience, never looking deeper to see the quiet strength and depth of your heart. They thought they could take advantage of your kindness as if it were a resource without limit, as if your selflessness had no boundaries. But what they overlooked is that God sees every sacrifice, every time you gave, without expecting anything in return. These acts of selflessness were not lost, nor were they unseen in the clamor of a world that often overlooks the pure of heart. Just as God noticed the widow's offering of 2 small coins and saw its true value over greater riches. Mark 12:41-44. He has seen every silent act of giving you've done. Each moment of kindness, every selfless deed, was like a seed planted in faith. And now those seeds are about to break through the soil, ready to bloom in ways that will astonish everyone. Can you sense the beauty of what's about to unfold? God has always been preparing for this moment, when what you've poured out in quiet faith and humility returns to you in overflowing abundance. This is the divine law in action. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. Luke 6:38. What you gave with a pure heart is now returning, multiplied beyond what you could have imagined. As this divine harvest comes to fruition, those who took advantage will stand in silence, witnessing the power of God's multiplication. They thought kindness was weakness, but God is showing them that kindness, when offered with purity and faith, has a strength beyond measure. Your journey is a testament to the truth that whatever is given selflessly returns in overflowing measure, and your life is about to reflect the fullness of this promise. While others took advantage of your kindness, mistaking it for weakness, God was quietly keeping account, making sure that none of your selflessness went unseen. Now the tables are turning. You never sought validation from others, and you certainly didn't give to be noticed, yet the recognition that is coming will be impossible to ignore. The very people who once overlooked your generosity will stand in silent awe as blessings pour into your life. And they will see, without a doubt, that this abundance is the result of your unwavering goodness. Have you ever noticed how you've always been the one who listens, the one who steps in when others turn away? When others had no time, you made time. When they were too busy, you offered a helping hand. Not because you had to, but because it's simply who you are. Someone who cares deeply, who lifts others up, even when no one else can be bothered. Many didn't appreciate it. Some even took it for granted, assuming that because of your youth you didn't fully understand the weight of what you were giving. But you did understand, and more importantly, so did God. Just as he saw Hagar in the wilderness providing for her and giving her a promise when she felt forgotten, Genesis 16:13, God has seen you all along, recording every act of love, every sacrifice. Now, the season of reaping is upon you. Every act of compassion, every selfless gesture has not only been recorded, but has become a seed sown in faith. God has multiplied these seeds, preparing a harvest that will astonish those who underestimated you. You are about to witness his promise fulfilled. Whoever sows generously will also reap generously. 2 Corinthians 9:6. The goodness that you have poured out time and time again is returning to you in ways that are beyond measure. Imagine the moment when those who overlooked or dismissed you begin to realize the magnitude of what's happening in your life. They will see that every blessing, every gift you receive is the result of a pure heart and a generous spirit. You are stepping into a time of divine reward, a season where all that you have given returns to you overflowing. And as you receive, remember, this abundance isn't just for you. It's a testament to the power of selfless love, a reminder that nothing offered from the heart ever goes unnoticed by God. This is God's promise to you. Your selflessness, your quiet acts of kindness were never in vain. While you gave without expectation, the divine was already preparing a reward for you, a reward far beyond what you could have envisioned. Now, those who once underestimated you, who saw only youth and assumed naivety, will witness the undeniable work of God in your life. They will see that your kindness, far from being a vulnerability, has always been your greatest strength. It is this very strength that God is now exalting, revealing to all that a pure heart is never overlooked. You've often been surrounded by voices, those who think they know better, those who doubt your capabilities simply because of your youthful appearance, believing you lack the wisdom to make decisions that matter. Yet, what they don't realize is that you are not led by their fleeting opinions or judgments. Just as young David was chosen and anointed by God for greatness, while others saw only a shepherd boy, 1 Samuel 16:7, you too have been guided by divine purpose from the very start. God's hand has been steering your course, wrapping you in guidance and protection that shields you from harm and leads you forward with certainty. Have they ever wondered why you seem so grounded, so unwavering, despite their doubts? It's because each step you take is aligned with a plan they cannot see, a vision crafted by the one who knows every detail of your journey. Just as the psalmist said, "The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer." Psalm 18:2. So too is God your guide and protector. With every choice, every decision, you are moving in harmony with a purpose that far surpasses their limited understanding. As they watch this unfolding, as God's blessings begin to overflow in your life, they will see that no human judgment can overshadow divine favor. You are stepping into a season where your strength, your kindness, and your faithfulness are exalted. And as they witness the fulfillment of God's promise in your life, they'll finally understand that your course has been set by a force beyond their comprehension. You are not walking this path by your own strength alone. The Creator Himself is carving your way, recognizing the potential within you that others fail to see. While some may view you through the lens of youth or inexperience, God sees a vessel prepared for greatness, equipped with wisdom that transcends your years. This wisdom isn't of earthly origin. It's grounded in ancient truths and divine foresight. You carry a depth that defies age, a discernment that guides you through each turn, anchored by God's unwavering hand. Think about how others may see only what's on the surface, assuming inexperience, overlooking the strength within. Yet God fills you with knowledge and insight beyond human understanding. Just as Solomon, though young, was endowed with wisdom to lead a nation, 1 Kings 3:5-12, so too does God bless you with clarity and direction. You're not stumbling through life, uncertain or aimless. Each challenge, each decision is met with divine clarity, for God is guiding your hand every step of the way. In a world full of shifting voices and opinions, do you feel that steady voice guiding you? It's His voice, louder and more consistent than any noise around you. His promises are steadfast, unshaken by the doubts or assumptions of others. Just as the psalmist wrote, "Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path." Psalm 119:105. So does God's guidance illuminate each step, leading you toward a purpose far beyond what others might imagine. Your steps are divinely ordered, placed on a path of prosperity that no human judgment or obstacle can obstruct. You walk in assurance, knowing that the one who carved this path for you is faithful to see you through to completion. As you move forward, you are not only fulfilling your own purpose, but also demonstrating to the world the power of divine guidance and the strength that comes from a life led by God. You stand at a pivotal moment in your life, facing a decision that feels monumental, one that seems as if it could shape the entire course of your future. Around you, the voices are loud. Some question your ability, some see only your youth, and others cast doubt, thinking you're too uncertain or inexperienced to make the right move. But deep within, you know these voices are just noise. They don't hold the truth you seek. You turn to prayer, to the wisdom of the one who knows all things, surrendering your fears and uncertainties. In that quiet surrender, the answer becomes clear. Out of nowhere, an opportunity arises, one so perfectly suited to your desires and dreams that it could only be divine in origin. It's something no one else anticipated, and yet it aligns so completely with who you are that you immediately recognize God's hand at work. You don't hesitate or doubt yourself. The moment is filled with a certainty that could only come from the divine. As you step boldly into this opportunity, doors begin to open. Paths that once seemed impassable now clear before you, obstacles falling away as God's guidance lights your way. Just as God parted the Red Sea for the Israelites, making a way where there was none, Exodus 14:21-22, so too does He create a path for you, leading you toward His purpose. Those who once doubted you, who thought your youth meant inexperience, are left in awe, unable to explain the momentum propelling you forward. They thought you would stumble, that your youthful appearance reflected a lack of direction. But they were wrong. God's plan defies their expectations, proving that age or appearance mean little when the Creator is guiding each step. What they didn't realize is that you are not navigating this journey alone. God is leading you with a purpose and vision beyond anything they could imagine. Here is your assurance. No matter how uncertain the path may seem to others, God will always open a way for you. He will unlock doors that once seemed permanently closed and guide you to opportunities they never even dreamed of. When you seek Him, you will never wander without direction. You carry His wisdom within, a light that guides you past doubts, fears, and the limitations others try to impose. Your path is blessed, each step illuminated by His unfailing guidance. They've rushed you, mocked your patience, and questioned why your journey hasn't unfolded faster, but they don't grasp the truth you hold dear. God's timing is perfect. His plans are intricately woven with purpose. They see your path as slow, stagnant, even behind. But what they fail to realize is that every waiting moment has been purposeful, each pause intentional. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be, moving to a rhythm set by divine hands, a rhythm that requires no validation from the world's timelines. While others rush ahead, seeking quick results and fleeting recognition, you have been quietly preparing, building a foundation that will endure. God has used this time to refine you, to equip you for the magnitude of blessings that are about to pour into your life. What they see as a delay is, in fact, divine preparation. Just as God prepared David in the fields before calling him to the throne, your journey has been a time of strengthening, sharpening, and positioning for the moment when everything aligns. 1 Samuel 16. Each day without the breakthrough you hoped for was not a setback. It was a season of growth and readiness. The world may have seen it as empty waiting, but God has been crafting something far greater behind the scenes. When the appointed time arrives, and it will, those who doubted will witness the undeniable fruit of divine timing. They thought you were idle, but you were being prepared for something they cannot even fathom. You're about to step into a season that reveals the beauty and power of God's meticulous preparation. A season where every sacrifice, every moment of patience brings forth a harvest that leaves them in awe. You've stood by patiently, watching as others seemed to race ahead. They celebrated promotions, relationships, milestones, each new achievement adding to their growing list of accomplishments. And while they received recognition and reached the goals you too desired, you continued to trust. You believed, even in moments of doubt, that there was something greater in store for you. You sensed their quiet judgments, the subtle pity as they looked at what they thought was your stalled progress. But they didn't know, couldn't possibly understand, that your elevation was never tied to their schedules or their fleeting achievements. Your journey was anchored in something far greater, in God's timing, a timing that renders all earthly measures insignificant. Then, one day, without warning, the door opens. The opportunity you've been waiting for finally arrives, and it is so perfectly in tune with who you are, your heart, your purpose, your calling, that you feel a deep, undeniable knowing. Every second of waiting has been worth it. This isn't just any opportunity. It's a divine appointment, a blessing shaped by God Himself. The scale of it leaves even you in awe, surpassing the expectations you once held. And as this door opens, those who once looked at you with subtle pity now stand in disbelief. They watch as everything aligns for you with a magnitude they could never have reached on their own. While they scrambled and fought to achieve on their terms, God has delivered to you, in His perfect timing, something they couldn't obtain, even with all their haste. Think of how Joseph waited years in prison, seemingly forgotten, only to be elevated in an instant to a position of authority beyond his wildest dreams. Genesis 41:43. In the same way, your journey of patience has prepared you for a role that only God could orchestrate, a role that aligns perfectly with your destiny and brings a fulfillment that outshines any fleeting accomplishment. This is God's promise fulfilled, a reminder that what He has planned for you is not only perfect in timing, but also beyond anything the world could offer. What they once pitied, they now admire. You are walking proof that waiting on God is never a waste, that patience is not passive. It's an active trust in a God who sees the entire journey. And as you step into this season of blessing, the magnitude of God's favor will stand as a testimony to all who once doubted, a testament to the power of divine timing and the beauty of a life aligned with His purpose. This is the affirmation of divine timing. Your waiting was never wasted. Each delay was crafted with purpose, each setback a preparation for the elevation to come. God wasn't holding you back. He was positioning every piece in perfect alignment for your favor. Now, as the pieces come together, the world will witness what you've believed all along. God's timing isn't merely perfect, it's miraculous, weaving together a plan far beyond human comprehension. What is destined for you will not pass you by. When it arrives, it will carry a magnitude and beauty that surpass anything you could have designed for yourself. Just as all things work together for the good of those who love God. Romans 8:28. Each moment of patience, faith, and resilience has been working to create a blessing that is uniquely yours. This is your season, the unfolding of a divine plan that reveals that every moment of waiting was a sacred setup for something extraordinary. The world looked at you and saw only limits. They thought they had you figured out, certain that the weight of your trials would crush you, that adversity would wear you down. Yet what they failed to recognize was that God had already fortified your spirit long before their doubts ever surfaced. You moved through their mockery and judgment with a quiet, unshakable strength, never needing to prove yourself to those who were blind to your worth. You didn't need their validation because your foundation was set on something infinitely deeper. While others faltered and wavered, you stood firm, grounded in the knowledge that your strength is not defined by their narrow perceptions. This strength has been forged in the fires of adversity, tempered by trials that would have broken others. Just as gold is refined in the furnace, so have you emerged from each trial stronger, resilient, and unwavering. 1 Peter 1:7. They saw only the struggle, They didn't see the resilience being cultivated within you. What they misunderstood as weakness was the very process God was using to build an inner strength that defies understanding. Each setback, each challenge was part of God's preparation, refining you for the purpose He has planned. So now, as you rise, they begin to see a glimpse of what was there all along, a strength rooted not in human measures, but in a divine resilience that cannot be shaken. You were never meant to fit into their expectations, because God placed within you something far beyond their understanding. You are not merely resilient, you are unshakable. Every obstacle they placed before you, every whispered doubt, every act of dismissal, only served to fortify what God had already begun within you. They underestimated you because they could not perceive the divine power that fuels your spirit, the strength that flows from a source far beyond what human eyes can see. They saw your outward calm and mistook it for passivity, unaware that it was the peace of someone who walks with God. This quiet strength comes not from a need for approval, but from a deep anchoring in the divine. Like Jesus, calming the storm with a word, your stillness reflects a profound inner assurance, a peace that surpasses all understanding. Philippians 4:7. They didn't realize that beneath the calm exterior lies a force, a purpose that is unmovable, because it is rooted in God's eternal plan. Every attempt they made to challenge or diminish you only strengthened the foundation God has been building within you. While they relied on fleeting validations and shallow judgments, you remained grounded in something far greater. You know that your worth isn't defined by human standards, but by the one who created you. They may never understand the depth of this strength, but they don't need to. This journey is yours, guided by a purpose they cannot see, held steady by a power they cannot comprehend. And now, the moment they've been waiting for, the moment they predicted you would fail, has finally arrived. A challenge looms before you, whether it's a critical project, a high-stakes exam, or a pressure-filled situation they were certain would become your downfall. They watch closely, confident that this is where you'll stumble. Their judgments are loud and their expectations are clear. They want to see you fall, but you remain calm, unwavering. Why? Because you know something they don't. You know that God is with you, that your strength is unbreakable, rooted in a foundation far stronger than the pressures they hope will crush you. As you face the challenge, you move with grace and resilience, allowing your faith to guide every step. There is no hesitation, no fear, only an inner peace that surpasses all understanding. Philippians 4:7. While they scramble to anticipate your collapse, you remain steady, unflinching, knowing that you walk in the presence of a strength they cannot see. And then the victory unfolds. You emerge from the challenge, not only triumphant, but radiant with a strength that leaves them in stunned disbelief. Those who doubted you, who watched with bated breath for your failure, are left speechless, unable to comprehend how you succeeded. They look at you and realize that your strength was never something they could understand, because it didn't come from the world. It came from the divine connection you've always held within. This is your season of victory. Like David standing victorious before Goliath, your success is a testament not only to your resilience, but to the power of God working through you. 1 Samuel 17:45-47. This is the moment where all their judgments fall away, revealing a truth they could never have anticipated. You are upheld by a force that sees beyond limitations, a God who knows your heart and empowers your spirit. This victory is not just a personal triumph, it's a divine affirmation that your strength, your path, and your purpose are rooted in something unshakable. What they didn't foresee, what they couldn't predict, was that adversity wasn't your downfall. It was the crucible that molded you into the powerful force you are today. They mocked, doubted, even pitied you, thinking that your trials would break you. But now they watch in disbelief as you rise, stronger and more resilient than ever. The strength they so easily dismissed is now shining in full view, and they are witnessing firsthand what it truly means to be chosen by God. You are not merely a survivor of hardship, you are the embodiment of divine resilience, and this victory is just the beginning of what's yet to come. Those who underestimated you, who dismissed you because of your youth or appearance, now stand face to face with a truth they hadn't anticipated. They were wrong. What they perceived as inexperience was, in fact, wisdom forged through resilience, wisdom that is rooted in a profound connection to the divine. Like Moses, who though hesitant led his people through the desert with strength and purpose, Exodus 3:4, you possess an ancient spirit far deeper and wiser than their shallow judgments could comprehend. They believed they could diminish you, but in their attempts, they only highlighted the very strength they failed to see. Every challenge, every dismissive glance, every doubt they cast has only amplified the power within you. What they saw as weakness was actually God's refining fire, creating within you a resilience that is unbreakable. And now, as you rise, they must confront the truth. You are chosen, a vessel of divine strength, moving forward with a purpose far beyond what their limited perspectives could ever grasp. This is the season where their perceptions fall away and the undeniable power of God's hand on your life shines. You are not only stepping into your calling, you are walking proof that true strength is not determined by appearance or age, but by a spirit anchored in faith and refined through every trial. The very thing they saw as your downfall has become your greatest strength, a testament to the divine resilience that defines you. The blessings and elevation coming into your life are not random events or mere strokes of fortune. They are the fruits of your unwavering faith, the solid foundation you've built through countless trials, and the divine favor that has been at work in your journey from the very beginning. Every obstacle, every moment you were overlooked or underestimated was woven into a larger plan, a plan designed to shape and prepare you for what is now taking place. This rise is not only happening, it is becoming undeniable. The strength you've developed wasn't by accident. It was cultivated through seasons of resilience, faith, and trust in something greater. What others may see as sudden or surprising is in truth the divine fulfillment of promises you've held close, even in the darkest moments. Just as Joseph's years of struggle led to a position of honor in Egypt, Genesis 41, your journey has been crafted to reveal a purpose and blessing far beyond what anyone expected. Those who doubted you will see, unmistakably, that your elevation is no coincidence. It is the manifestation of divine timing, the reward for your faithfulness, and a testament to the power of trusting in God's plan. This is your season, and the blessings now unfolding are the answer to every moment you stood firm, every prayer you whispered in faith, and every challenge that strengthened you. The path you've walked has been leading you here all along, to a place of fulfillment and purpose that only divine hands could create. Your story is powerful. The testimony of your triumph, achieved despite the doubts and underestimations of others, will be a beacon of hope for those who have faced similar challenges. You've shown the world that true strength doesn't come from outward appearances, but from the depth of your connection to God and the resilience of your spirit. Now, it's time to share your story, to let others see what it truly means to be chosen, to rise against the odds, and to embody the divine wisdom that flows through you. If this message has touched your heart, consider supporting us through Super Thanks. Your contributions help keep this message alive and allow us to reach even more people who need encouragement. Whether you donate or not, we're grateful for your presence and support. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay connected and continue on this journey together. Leave a comment below, sharing how this message resonates with you. We'd love to hear from you. May God's blessings flow abundantly in your life, guiding and uplifting you every step of the way. Thank you for being part of this community. God bless you.